Happy Father's Day to all the best ball sicko dads out there. Shout out to you guys. It's a little impromptu drafting session. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to draft some best ball teams. So that's what we're going to do. Fire a couple drafts, have a little bit of fun, celebrate the dads, and hopefully win a whole lot of money for me or maybe for you. Let's do it. We do get a doubleheader today. It's a great day for a doubleheader. Damien doing some housework. Shout out to you for doing the things around the house, even on a Sunday, even on Father's Day. Clearly, I am not doing things around the house. I did just do some things around the house, but we're just gonna have some fun. Nothing mega serious here today. Hang out. I was gonna draft some teams right now anyway. My wife is currently not here. I'm waiting on her to come back to watch the Formula One race, which starts in 40 minutes or so, give or take 40 minutes. The F1 race, and you guys know I'm a big Formula One fan, and so I figured let's have some fun. Well, I don't have to sit on my couch and do it talking to my dogs. I can hang out with you guys and draft some teams. If you're hanging out here, you guys tell me what you want to draft. Jay wants to draft a SuperFlex team. We can draft SuperFlex, BBM, DraftKings, drafters. I do not care what we draft. We can fire any of them. Exactly. Man, this is so I'm not going to turn this into a Formula One show. I promise. But this is the most exciting race we've had in quite a while because it is, like you said, George Russell on pole, Verstappen. Lando is 7th. Ferrari's kind of up there, but kind of not typical Ferrari fashion. Yuki, 10-place grid penalty. Sainz in the back. It's an absolutely crazy day in the Formula One streets. So I'll be watching on delay. If you fucking spoil it, if you're in the chat here and you spoil what's going on, because I'm gonna watch it later after we're done drafting some teams. Don't you dare spoil it. Let's see. Damien says Superflex. Vaporware says Super Dad Flex. Versaire says Superflex. We are completely done with the hot dog times. Those are over. I am currently in the South says DraftKings. I'll give you guys just a hot quick second to decide here. I'm literally in a draft with shout out Jace in the Spike Week Discord. I'm currently in a draft right now on drafters with him. So some folks said a couple folks said DraftKings, a couple folks said Superflex. Next couple, Steve says Superflex. All right, let's do Superflex. Superflex it is. Go on over to Underdog. Scroll. Let's see. I am at 80. Yeah, let's do 20 seconds. I know I always say we can't do 20 seconds but today's a little different. Oh wow, filled. Yeah, this draft that Jim and I are in, Jim, aka Jace. I'm enjoying my team in this draft. I took Lamar, and Isaiah Likely fell all the way back to me, which I did not expect. I actually have a semi-competent running back room, despite Joe Mixon being my RB1. This is fun. Shout out Rodney. Speaking of Ravens, our good friend Rodney Ravens fan, Ravens fucking insider Rodney Spears giving us the goods on the Ravens last year during training camp. Pepper Tony says, yeah, I'm 80. So full transparency about my Superflex. Let me show you my currently active slows. My currently active slows, you see on the clock, Superflex. So that's a lot. That's a lot of Superflex drafts over here. And the random, I genuinely don't know what happened, maybe I screwed this one up. I don't know. I'm just in a bunch of Superflex slows. I'm not even 100% positive how many I have I've completed, but nonetheless, see, I should not have clicked away like this because now I got to find my way back. Ooh, look at this. Will Shipley came all the way back to me in this drafters draft. We can do a DK Millie after this. I just got to find my. Here we go. One pick away. Ooh, we are on the clock. I'm gonna do Jahmyr Gibbs. Superflex feels like such a great place for me to get a lot more Gibbs exposure. Running backs being more valuable, right? We took away a wide receiver spot. I can still get a bunch of elite wide receivers. I'll probably still get an elite wide receiver in the second round with Jahmyr Gibbs. Shipley is perfect for all of my teams, Jim. So tough shit. Tight end is getting a little gross for me, but I don't think you're going to take the guy that I want. I don't know. There's a couple spots here. Ooh. I think Justice Hill's supposed to be the pick for me here, but I can't pass on De'Ami Brown. Come on. Great question from Damien. I'm a little too zoomed in here. Do you find yourself taking 8 to 9 running backs in Superflex? That feels like the way to go. The answer is yes, I do. De'Ami Brown is definitely always a good pick. I did just take Justice Hill. It's a Lamar Zay likely drafters team. So if I'm going to build that out, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be. So I have in Superflex. I have 43%. Let's do neighbors then. I'm going to do neighbors with Gibbs. I know I have plenty of neighbors, but I don't think 50% of my Gibbs teams need to have Puka. It's probably a little bit extreme. But do you find yourself taking 8 to 9 running backs in Superflex? That feels like the way to go. Yeah. This is one of the why I'm drafting. So to Pepper Tony's question, like, are you going to max? I'm not like pressuring myself to max. I might get there. Because I'm slowly adding slows to my backlog every single day is generally my plan of attack for like contests like this. I'm not going to play as many of the different tournaments on Underdog, but I really enjoy Superflex. So I will probably max that, like maybe a later puppy or something like that. But then I'm focusing mostly on Best Ball Mania. I did do the Schnauzer to wet my beak at the beginning, whatever. But the Superflex I find to be both just really fun, but also to this exact point, like pretty advantageous. Like people, it's so fascinating. The best ball world, especially on Underdog, will love to tell you about how running backs are more valuable because of half PPR. You got to draft running backs and all that. But then our competitors also don't want to take a lot of running backs. And like if running backs are more valuable, you should want to take a higher quantity, even if you have drafted like some good ones, right? Okay, Herbert, London. Obviously, I can get the Bowers correlation. 20. Let's just do Herbert. Set up Lad or Trey Harris. But we took away a wide receiver spot, and so everybody pushed down wide receiver pricing, as they should. Get it? But we didn't. But there's still like, I'm going to draft 6 quarterbacks and 3 tight ends and 7 wide receivers. And it's like, but running backs are more valuable in this format. We want more of them, right? They're more valuable. I want more of them. So yeah, I'm taking a ton of high quantity running back teams in Superflex. This is a good point. Eliminator. I do very much like the Eliminator. So I might max that one too. We'll see. But like I said, I'm being a little more hyper focused. I've had more fun, frankly, and more success on. I shouldn't say that. Like Underdog has been good. I'm probably jaded by the fact that the year I got 12th in Best Ball Mania, I got $15,000 fucking, and every other year it's 6 figures. The dogs are also worked up. Hold on. I don't know if you can still hear them. We closed the office door, so we're gonna have to get up and let them in a minute. Dude, they're crazy. We got a neighbor who has a son. The two parents have a son, and they the son got a dog, and that dog is nuts. As nuts as my dogs are. AJ Brown, Lad gone. Let's do Penix. Get my 2 quarterbacks, get my superstars, and let's rock. But so my dogs, their dog will they'll let their dog out. He lives with the son, but the son comes back a lot. The son lived with the parents, my next door neighbors, for a while. The son will bring the dog back a couple days a week or sometimes on weekends or whatever. And that dog constantly is out there to incite a riot with my dogs. Goes out, comes to the corner of the fence and barks, runs around, tries to get my dogs wound up, and it works. As you can hear, it works every goddamn time. Gets my dogs wound up, and they're howlers. They're husky shepherd mix. I was going to say pups, but they're 9, so they're not pups anymore. But they are howlers. They'll howl at sirens, other dogs, anything. Definitely. 100%. Yeah, we're all trying to complete it's mission impossible for all of us, but we're all on a different mission. Well, good for you, Melch. Congratulations. Mine how? I think an edge in SuperFlex that isn't obvious is that elite wide receiver. Yeah, so that's the interest. So you see this team, right? You guys know me. Early running back is not my absolute favorite thing. And I actually still do truly believe that zero running back in SuperFlex is crazy. Take 10 or 11 of the motherfuckers, right? Take a ton of running backs and with zero running back, it can work quite well. Man, I really don't have hardly any Garrett Wilson, and this is a little fall. Let's do Garrett Wilson then. But you can have your cake and eat it too. I think being willing to only take 2 quarterbacks or take 2 starters, like I did here. Herbert, Penix. This is, I would say, a lot of what my teams are. Getting 2 starters and then banking on them. I might add a third right back, add a Joe Milton, Mac Jones, Hendon Hooker, whatever at the back end of the draft. But overly fixed, the market is so obsessed with the ambiguous quarterback rooms, and the ambiguous quarterback rooms are the ones on the shittiest teams, and you still might get it wrong, and you might get it right for a stretch and wrong for the rest. I'm not saying to not draft Browns, right? Giants, whatever. I'm not saying to not draft those guys. I have drafted them. But I really prefer this kind of now I'm good at quarterback and SuperFlex, right? So I can kind of now build out my team appropriately. And I was still able to get Jahmyr fucking Gibbs and Malik Neighbors. I could have had Puka if I preferred. Oof. This drafters team got gross in a hurry. Yeah, 100%. That's hilarious. The 3 QB starts are the ones that blow my mind, or the 4 to 5 QB starts that people do. Yeah, I agree. I just think this is the one. Wow. Hampton comes back. Nice. This room is wild. You weren't kidding this room. Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I'm just not doing pick 54 Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry, Toe Donuts. I'm sorry. I apologize if you're here. I don't mean to be rude. You were feeling the pressure at quarterback. I get it. I'm not Aaron Rodgers over Garrett Wilson, Tyreek Hill, Brees Hall. Like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Jace, did you take Fannin in this draft? What the hell, man? This drafters team was a lot of fun until eventually it wasn't. Sure, my first Oronde Gadsden share, I guess it is. Mr. Master says was gonna pair up neighbors with Bowers, but we left you Genty, so you're good. Let's see. Yeah, Saquon. See, and like Saquon, Genty, Bowers, Bryce. I think I would have probably laid off Kyron there, but you still got Rashee Rice. I can't like totally blame you. I think I probably would have taken Tyreek or something like that instead of Kyron. But I get it. I totally get it. Let me think about this now. See, this is where I start to like. I don't have DMOT on any. I really like T Mac though, and T Mac is like only on Bryce teams for me. So let's do him. Because I do have Gibbs and Hampton, so I'm okay. Yeah, of course, Jim took Fannin in this other draft. Likely was my tight end one, so I was looking to punt tight end in this drafters draft that Jim and I were both in, and it didn't go well. Elijah Arroyo and Oronde Gadsden were my last two picks, but yeah. I don't really believe in the Gadsden thing. He is the epitome. We love to joke about like the big slot thing. He really is. That's all he is. That dude don't block. He's a slot receiver. Gadsden. But like that also could potentially be fruitful. He was a good player in college. I'm just gonna take a little bit of my medicine when it was a Herbert team. I had Herbert, Ladd, and Trey Harris on the team. I needed a last round tight end. I've taken a little bit of Disley already. I'm not proud of that fact. Full transparency, but I have done it, and I'll take a splash of Gadsden right when I need my tight end room was Isaiah Likely, Elijah Arroyo, and then a last round Chargers tight end was going to be the pick. Let's like in that room, I kind of need to swing a little bit. I think some people might say let's take the floor, but I think you kind of on drafters, I need to beat 100,000 other teams for the whole full season. Like if Gadsden is really good, that's huge, right? That's huge for that room. I'll do Judkins. I have a lot more. I did not miss my pick, Underdog. Don't even say that out loud. Kramer says, "What contest is this? This is the Puppy Butt SuperFlex on Underdog." So it is. I'm sure that you're aware of what SuperFlex is, but SuperFlex on Underdog removes a starting wide receiver. So every week you only start 2 wide receivers in your starting lineup, and you start a SuperFlex, right? So it doesn't have to be a quarterback, but in an ideal world, you're probably filling it with a quarterback. GM to Billy. That's crazy. I don't know. I think I've ever seen anybody I don't pay that close of attention, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody not take Josh Allen at the 101 in any of my drafts. D. Owens prefers Conklin. If you prefer Conklin, I think that's fine, but I do not. I prefer the other guys, but Conklin could win that job for sure. I think it's probably going to be a bit of a mess, frankly, but we'll see. Ooh, left Godwin for me, but You guys know I love Chris Godwin, but I'm going to do Jordan Mason. In SuperFlex? That's crazy. Daniel Jones is feeling criminally undervalued in all formats. The dude had yeah. I don't want to only as someone who drafted a lot of Daniel Jones last season, I don't want to like overvalue 2022. It's a thing though. And I think Daniel Jones is a totally fine pick. As you I think it was you that mentioned all the reports, right? Coming out, shout out 32 beat writers. All the reports coming out are that Daniel Jones is pretty significantly ahead of Anthony Richardson, and Richardson would have to wow in camp, which is possible. The real problem with Daniel Jones and right, Jones, Flacco, Pickett, Shador, Gabriel, Russ, Dart, whatever, is that it's not so simple as starting week 1 because you can always get benched. When you're in that situation, like if they lose 3 games in a row, who's to say they don't say, well, let's try something else. Let's try Richardson, change it up. You know, that's the Justin Fields played like well and got benched for the Steelers. It's like that's the real problem with those rooms. It's not whether or not we think Jones is I do think and have kind of always thought that Daniel Jones would be the week 1 starter, but Anthony Richardson has the higher ceiling. And so it's still Daniel Jones. I'm probably higher on Daniel Jones than like anyone on planet Earth besides Daniel Jones and his family. But we'll do Jalen Moore. How long is Richardson out? He should be good for camp right now. I think that was the latest report that I saw. It was a little weird. The reporting's been weird on his shoulder stuff. But I think I think the latest was he'll be fine for regular training camp. They take it pretty cautious with guys during mini camp. Shout out Mac. It's a great day. We're doing great. This is an interesting Willow is seeing more people clicking Shaheed. I like camp at the earliest could be longer. I like until I mean also we're still talking about the Colts. And like I actually like the Colts, so I shouldn't like. But it's one of those weird offenses where I'm like, Pittman is fine. I do like Josh Downs, but like Pierce is a role player, right? Pierce is like stand in the corner and shoot threes. He's good at shooting threes in the corner, but don't hand him the ball and ask him to run pick and roll. Right? Like that's Alec Pierce. It's like go stand in that corner and make 3-pointers because that's what your job is. His job is to stretch the field, hit some big plays, and he's good at it. But that's what, right? He's MVS. He's apparently All Saints, Robert Meacham and Devery Henderson and whatever, right? He's that kind of a dude, Gabe Davis. So like, I think Jonathan Taylor rocks, but I think if the Colts offense is going to be like pretty awesome for fantasy, I think it's dependent upon Tyler Warren being quite good, actually. So I don't have a tight end. You know what? I'm sitting here talking about it. Let's do Evan Ingram. Let's do Tyler Warren. Ingram was at the top of the queue, implanted in my brain. Yeah, I got no problem with Dart. Russ is as good a bet as there is to lose the job. Not even because he's guaranteed to play bad, just because it's unlikely that they're going to have like a winning record. And what's the point of trotting Russ out there in week 12 when you've won 3 games? You know. Speaking of hoops, isn't that a huge overpay for Desmond Bane? I actually think no. I think at first glance, it probably feels that way. But it's 4 first-round picks and a swap. 3 of the first-round picks are going to should be, right? The bet is that they're late. Here's Trey Harris. I forgot to add Mooney to the queue. I assume he's long gone. Yeah. Well, let's add Pitts to the queue. I have 1% Kyle Pitts in SuperFlex, so don't snipe him. And I see. I don't really. It's hard to explain. So like Mikal Bridges was more expensive. I think that archetype player, like if you want, if you are the Magic and you want to put your chips in, which is what they wanted to do, right? The Eastern Conference is going to be the worst conference with the Tatum injury that has ever existed, with the Dame injury that has ever existed in the NBA. So Eastern Conference teams that are near the top are probably appropriately seeing this Pacers and Knicks-esque opening, right? If the Pacers can make the final, can't we? If the Pacers can be 2-2 up 2-1 in the final, can't we do that, right? If we put our chips in. And so if you want, Desmond Bane's 26 years old. He's one of the best shooters in the league, and he's like this I'm not sure you could dream up a better, outside of getting one of the top 5 players in the league. I'm not sure you could dream up a better fit for the Magic. They need shooting. They need a guard. They need a guy who can play on the ball, right? He can run the offense. He can also play off the ball and let Paolo and Franz and Suggs and those other guys do their thing. It's just like a real dreamy fit. So, oh shoot, I don't want to take Pitts here. When you want a 26-year-old in his prime who's going to like take you over the top, like the Knicks wanted Mikal Bridges, right? Like you got to give up stuff. I think the Luka trade like broke our brains because it was the absolute worst, dumbest trade that any professional sports franchise has ever made. Like KCP and Cole Anthony are just filler, right? We got to match salaries. So they're just getting rid, and frankly, the KCP and Cole Anthony contracts are probably negative assets, given where they are. At best, neutral. They're not positive. So you're getting out from those 2 guys and turning them into Desmond Bane. You're giving up 3 of your own first-round picks unprotected. But if you're going to be good, if you have Desmond Bane, Jalen Suggs, Paolo Banchero, and Franz Wagner, those 3 first-round picks shouldn't really matter that much. They matter, but that's the bet, right? Is it shouldn't matter that much. Now, the Phoenix unprotected 2026 first is that's a little gem of an asset. The Suns might be quite bad, and I would not love giving up that pick. That's probably why Memphis took it, is because it wasn't just all Magic picks. They got a Suns unprotected first. But I just think they shoved their chips in with like really the kind of perfect player. This dude is, man, the foursome of when Suggs comes back healthy with Bane, Franz, and Paulo is crazy good. So I think there was a funny frequent usage of the phrase people forget yesterday, but I think people do actually forget Dallas Goedert, Yahtzee. People do actually forget that Jalen Suggs missed most of the year last year, and he was awesome before he got hurt. And I think, yeah, you just, like, if they gave up 3 first-round picks, would it be like, it's like at a certain point, if you want your guy, like you gotta pay the piper. Like if you want a 26-year-old, if you want to go get KD's going to get traded. If you want to get Kevin Durant, I know that sounds silly that you're like, if you want Desmond Bane, you got to give up 4 firsts. If you want Kevin Durant, you might give up 1. But right, we're talking about a guy who's only going to play a couple more years, is very old and even more expensive than Bane is. If you want to lock up your core, which is what the Knicks did, right? These are our guys. Mikhail Brunson, Cat, OG, Hart. If we want to put our core together for the next however many years, which is what, right? Bain at 26 years old, next to what's Paulo, 22, Franz, 23 or something like that, right? Suggs, maybe a little bit older. You now have tied those 4 guys together. You got to pay. The fucking Mavs made us all think that, like, oh, you could just get Desmond Bain for KCP, Cole Anthony, and a first-round pick. It's like, no, sir. That is not how the NBA works, especially in the world of all these, right? The aprons, this insane new cap legislature, if you will, that they put together. It's nuts. It's absolutely ridiculous. The Magic were also about to get a lot more expensive. Paulo's about to get his extension. Right, Franz expensive. Suggs got his extension already. Paulo's going to get the max. So it's like, okay, 2,642. Did Pitts go? What the fuck is wrong with you guys? So now I don't have Penix. All right, well, I'm going to do Dowdle then. What are my wide receivers? What's my wide receiver sitch? See, this is the crazy thing. But someone might say, oh my God, you only have 4 wide receivers. Like, I only start 2 of them. And I have Malik Neighbors, Garrett Wilson, and T-Mac. And then, of course, Trey Harris. We are currently drafting a puppy, but SuperFlex on Underdog. And I think the folks wanted to do a DraftKings draft. So we can pop over to DraftKings as soon as this is done. Those are the 2 votes. If anybody has a vote for if you would rather draft a BBM, if you would rather draft on drafters, if you would rather draft whatever. If there's something that's close to filling that you're trying to get filled in 5 minutes or whatever, 10 minutes, feel free to plop that in the chat. And I'm down to draft whatever. It doesn't matter to me. We're just here for the vibes and to talk about Desmond Bain, apparently. Is Desmond Bain a father? Happy Father's Day to Desmond Bain. We're working on Fast Draft. It's a little bit tricky to stream. Oh God, QJ. I'm gonna take Jarquez Hunter because Jarquez Hunter is like the cutoff of running backs that I actually like in drafts. The rest are it's not that Hunter isn't a scratch off ticket, right? But it's like I just feel a lot better about Hunter on forward, and once I get past him is when we get into like we start to get into guys who like straight up could get cut after Hunter. Yeah, 8 out of 12 in the drafters main. We might oh no. This is a great question. I'm gonna go ahead and hop into that drafters main. Looks like 7 of 12 right now as I am popping in. So we need 4 more. If you would like to join and be one of those 4, we'll pop that up here in a second once we get done with this SuperFlex. The drafters promo is I always screw it up. Oh God, it filled. Okay. Sitting in the one. Let's see who got in here. Dorito is in. Mac is in. Jace is in. Shuby is in. Anybody else, if you're in here, feel free to shout it out. So the promo is by the end of June, for every milestone, you get free tickets at a bunch of milestones. 10 teams, 25 teams, 50 teams, 100 teams, 150 teams. So it is posted on in their little like chat box thingy. I'm very angry to not get a stack with Penix, but this is what we get. Yes, slows do count. Just got to enter 10, 25, 50 teams into the $20, right? So for the promo, you enter into the $20 by the end of June, you hit those milestones, you'll see it. The ticket is automatic. Once you do your 10th draft, the tickets are in your account. So same thing at 25, same thing, So it's great. Drafters runs a ton of different promos, and you can get a bunch of free tickets by the end of June. Yeah, Dylan says, am I seeing this right? At 2852 star. Yeah, in SuperFlex. You only start 2 wide receivers. So that is correct. I mean, it's like you said, Malik, they only have 5 wide receivers, but Malik Neighbors, Garrett Wilson, and T-Mac are on there. So I have a first-round pick, in regular drafts, I have a first-round pick, a second-round pick, and a fourth-round pick and a wide receiver on the team. Let's add Slayton to Neighbors, get a little secondary Giants thing going on there. Yeah, I get it. You open it and you're like, what in the fuck is going on here? Although I would not do 2852. I would bet I have teams that started 2752. But it's amongst that 5 at wide receiver are studs, right? Oh shoot, I'm on the clock on drafters. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, 20 seconds. We'll pop over there in just a second. I am at the 104, and I'm gonna do CD because it's what I do. We'll pop that one up here in just a second, maybe after I make this 19th round pick, because the 20th rounds in SuperFlex drafts are not that great. Shout out to you, Jay, and all the fathers. I am not a father. I'm only an uncle and a brother. So no happy Father's Day needed to me. Happy Father's Day to all of you guys. And I hope this is not me. I don't mean me being a part of your Father's Day, but you being able to draft some best ball teams. Maybe you got a brewski in your hand, or you're sitting outside smoking a cigar, or whatever the hell it is that you like to do on your Father's Day. Shout out to all the awesome fathers. I know that there's tons of them out there in the this is true. Am technically a dog dad. All right. We're probably gonna go. Well, I'm gonna take a wide receiver and a tight end here. Let's do Fannin, because I don't even think I've taken Fannin yet in SuperFlex. Maybe once. And then I'm just gonna queue up a bunch of wide receivers. Woof. That's gross. Let's put Jalen Royals in there. Let's put Io Manor in there. Let's put Dante Thornton in there. I could do, you know who's going to win the wide receiver 3 job for the Atlanta Falcons? Not Ray McLeod, Daryl Hodge, who I don't still want to draft. Daryl Hodge, full transparency. But what better time than to do it? Viciously hungover. That is I don't think I've ever actually heard someone describe their hangover as vicious. I mean, it makes sense, and I think we've all been there. But it is ooh. Hold on. I want to get this up there. Lad coming back at pick 21 with CD. I don't even have Lad yet with CD in this tournament. So it's a great day. Happy Father's Day to me. That was my Father's Day present. My dogs, the dog said, here you go. You can have CeeDee Lamb and Lab McConkey for the first time in the drafters main event. Seems like Chris might have been viciously hungover this morning too. Slept through some slows. I have every time it comes up, I can't remember if it was a SuperFlex or like a Schnauzer or something like that slow. I can't remember, but I definitely at some point, whether I slept through or autoed something in an Underdog slow, and it has like McBride, Kittle, Jonnu at tight end or something ridiculous like that I would never, ever draft. And every time I get back on the clock, I'm just like, I need to just put the airplane. I need to just click airplane mode and move on. But it makes me, it like ruins my day every time it comes up, because it's like, it's a good, everything else. You're like, I like all these players. I got stacks. I got this. I got value elsewhere. And you're like, yeah, but you took 3 tight ends in your first like 8 picks, you fucking idiot. Disley or Conklin right now. I prefer Disley to Conklin, but I'm going to continue to monitor the situation. And I did, frankly, just take a Rondé Gadsden on drafters as well. I do think that tight end room is one we want to keep our eyes on here in training camp. Not because it's like some huge deal, though. If Gadsden has a bigger role than we expect, I think that's meaningful. It will be more so as a wide receiver. Just want to keep reiterating, Rondé Gadsden is borderline a wide receiver. I'm sure he's doing some tight end stuff, but he's never just like the predominant. Wow, and McBride comes all the way back. So I don't have. Let me see over here. Sorry, I'm trying to hover over my my percentages here. So I don't have. Yeah, I don't have any McBride with Ladd, and I don't have any. So since I don't have any McBride with Ladd, I don't have McBride plus CD plus Ladd. My one of my combos here is my very last percentage. You see, it's obviously 0 here. Is the percentage of the time I have that player when I took both of those first 2 picks in the first 2 rounds, right? So like, I want to see what percentage of my CD teams have Trey McBride, what percentage of my Ladd teams have Trey McBride, then what percentage of my CD and Ladd teams also have Trey McBride, and I do not yet have that start. So bingo bango. Famously, this is true. What if triple elite tight end is what you need? Yep. Almost nobody has Achane with that. If I remember correctly, looking at the old tournament DB on spikeweek.com, you can look up things like how frequent these combinations are done by our opponents. I think most people do, because Zeus says he had bad past experiences drafting Gadsden type of players. And I think that that's true for literally everyone, because Gadsden type players are more fun for Madden than they are for real life football, because they don't. Sorry, I'm trying to refill my, get a 2-liter of Diet Coke here. I think Gadsden is pretty slam dunk, easily the best receiving, again, air quotes, tight end that the Chargers have. He just doesn't functionally play a tight end constantly, like basically at all times. Hacker would have to tell you about exactly when he runs it, but it's as close to real time as you can get. Yeah, it's much appreciated. This is the thing, is it behooves all of us to be unique, because you're getting a unique team, right? Dorito has Puka, Tyreek, and JSN. Probably no one in that he would probably know. He's probably looking at it. Like, you go look in tournament DB, nobody has that start, right? Which is really powerful on drafters, especially. But it helps me because I got to start. I wouldn't say that nobody has CD Ladd, Trey McBride, but I don't have it yet, and I want it. I want that start on teams too. Like, I would have see, Jace just took Kyron. Like, I don't even like Kyron Williams. I would have taken Kyron Williams at pick 45. Whether or not I like it or not, it doesn't matter, because the uniqueness part of it was so powerful. Devontae Smith, slam dunk. Yeah, and the blocking tight end for the Chargers is not going to be a Rondé Gadsden. It's going to be Will Dissly or Tyler Conklin, and I lean to Will Dissly right now, but I'm going to keep monitoring that. Do you keep track of your exposure combined from all 3, or just by site? I do. I'll pull up. I legit have Draft IQ currently up. Let's just It's up right here on my other tab, right next to it. So through 206, I was just looking at this earlier today. There's 261 total teams. This is so you can see here in Draft IQ, right? Underdog, Drafters, DraftKings. We need to add Fast Draft in here, but nonetheless, you can also go by all, right? So when you click by all, I can see. All right, let's look at exposure. If you want to look at total, right? You want to look at total money, or you want to look at exposure. You want to look at by site, right? And then you can also search for okay, what do my CD teams look like across all? Okay, obviously you have 100%, but on my CD teams across all, right? My CD teams on Underdog, okay, but like look here, I don't have. This is actually a great tip. That being said, I'm taking Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts just came back to me in the 5th, and I'm taking Jalen Hurts. So anyway, doesn't mean I can't take Trevor Lawrence, but like this is a great way to get a quick and dirty view in Draft IQ. You can use the all tab. You can go site by site, of course, but you can use the all tab, and you can see, like I have a bunch of CD. I even have Trevor Lawrence is my overall 6th highest owned player with CD, but it's basically all on Underdog, and it's not. I would bet it's SuperFlex, honestly. And then same thing. Look, Penix. I don't have Penix CD on DraftKings yet. Pickens is more smooth. Right. Diggs, 22% with CD on Underdog, 0 on DraftKings. Braylon Allen, right? Like there's just Jarquez Hunter is like all on DraftKings. So I try to look at all that different kind of stuff. It's a great question. How willing are you to go bully Bowers and McBride if the room lets both fall to you? I have not done it yet. I will. How would I answer this? I will guarantee I have non-zero, but very small. It will be very small of those two. I think it's more of like this thing is fun to try and let's see what it looks like than I think this thing is an edge in drafting both of them. Yeah, I think Saquon at 7 is. Yeah, I bet you see it happen a lot more than you think. Like you said I forgot to go look and see who it. Oh, I did. Yeah, we got Kadarius Hodge. I know you guys were very concerned about my 20th round pick in that SuperFlex draft, but don't worry, we got Kadarius Hodge. Justin Herbert and Michael Penix at quarterback, Jahmyr Gibbs, Omarion Hampton, Quinshon Judkins, Jordan Mason, Jalen Warren, Isaac Garendo, Rico Dowdle, and Jarquez Hunter at running back. Yes, that is 8 running backs. Imagine not taking at least 8 running backs. Running backs score more points. They're more valuable in half PPR. They're more valuable in Superflex. Not sure if you're aware. Imagine not taking at least 8 running backs. Hold on the clock here. Oh, look at that little. Okay, I can't do. How much? What? 38% James Conner. I have 10% Conner total, and 38% of my CD teams have Conner. Okay, absolutely fucking not. That's a little bit much. Let's do Caleb then. I don't have Caleb on those, on like any of this stuff. So let's do Caleb. Yeah, let me double check. We got to check in with the wife here, Chief. What the hell? She just sent me some text message that says it was sent with echo, and it was just okay. But then the okay there's like a bunch of I'm clearly getting old. You guys are probably going to tell me that I'm stupid for not understanding this. But I was checking to see when the wife was going to be home to decide if we can do another draft. Because yes, that's what happens in the Beimfohr residence. I don't make all the decisions. I don't make many other decisions. Yeah, where's the Casey Washington love? I drafted a little bit of Casey Washington last year. 20. It's a nice fall for Addison. Let's do that. Let's do it. I really don't like Addison on drafters, but it's a little bit of a fall. Now we're gonna build out a I got Hurts, I got McBride. I'm just gonna build out a monster running back room and see if we can't piece together a little zero running back action. Here. This is true. Yeah, Casey Washington. I think I had non-zero Casey Washington last year. I don't think it's impossible, but the early reports were Cardero hot. Like we're talking about June mini camp reports. Like it's not the end all be all. I know we act like it's like it's decided. John Shipley this morning said he thinks the Jaguars are going to keep 4 running backs and Travis Etienne has the starting job, but they're all going to play. So that's it. It's decided. Nothing could ever change. Whatever a guy says who follows the team in June, that's exactly what's going to happen. The usage, right? The rotation, all 4 are going to LeQuint's going to make the team. This has been the very, very early reporting that could don't be shocked when Kadero Hodge is starting in 3 wide receiver sets. Obviously, in 2 wide receiver sets, it's Drake London and Darnell Mooney, but Kadero Hodge getting some early hype. And frankly, Ray McLeod is terrible. Not that Kadero Hodge is better, but Jesus, let's try anything else. Yeah, the expectation is that Addison will get suspended, but that's on one hand that is certainly impactful, especially for cumulative scoring, like on drafters or like in the marathon or whatever. But on the other hand, it's like, are we getting a discount on a valuable fantasy asset who's going to miss 2 games? I really don't want no tight end. Oh God, Warren is the next bet. Should I? Whatever. Let's do both Steelers running backs. Nothing says zero running back like taking both Steelers running backs as your first 2 backs. Oh, dude, you're not hearing me. I'm all the way in on drafting on DraftKings. I was talking earlier. I don't know if you're here about how I'm being very focused on how I spend my Underdog time and resources. I really love the Eliminator. I don't love this year's format as much, but I still think that the contest is pretty awesome. And then of course Best Ball Mania, and I really enjoy SuperFlex. So I'm spending a lot of time on those contests. But then I really enjoy drafters, and then DraftKings is gonna get them. Like I'm going to draft more DraftKings teams than I draft anywhere else. I think it's fun. I think it's the softest. I think we want to go. If you the single greatest factor to your expected value, how much you expect to win over the long haul, is the ability level of your opponents. And quite frankly, on drafters, the ability level is of our opponents, and the ability level on Underdog is pretty high of folks. So okay, this is meant to be, right? Draft both in a zero running back team, draft both Steelers running backs, and then Najee. Yeah, that's meant to be. But DraftKings has the worst, right? It's the worst ADP. The people are worst amongst all the sites at just like basic things like roster construction. How many, how many teams draft Josh Allen at the 2-3 turn and take 3 or 4 quarterbacks on DraftKings? It's nuts, man. It's absolutely crazy. So go where the fish are. It's your best bet. So that's my plan. If you don't think I'm already prepared for Is CPAT at Steelers camp, or did he go to somebody else's camp? I don't know. Dude, this is driving me absolutely nuts. My keyboard stops working in Cordero Patterson. No, Steelers still. Still with the Steelers. So yeah, like week 1, they keep 4 running backs. CPAT and Gainwell each get 6 carries or whatever. Like, Zeus says the edge in drafters is people not understanding the player types to attack for season long. I would agree with that, but also I would say people, like the overwhelming majority of people, drafting the same teams that everybody else drafts. So even if they draft the right players, they draft the same players together on all of their teams. The overlap is crazy. So like you can draft all the right players and just draft them in different orders, draft them with different right draft. Like you see for us in this draft, right? Dorito starts at the 102. Puka Nacua is a good pick. He goes like 7th overall in these drafts. But if you just take him second, you're going to get a different. So if Puka Nacua is the right pick, Tyreek Hill is the right pick, these guys are the right pick. He's stacking up the Dolphins, right? Get a Dolphin stack with Puka Nacua. That's the other thing. More than just individual player combinations, there's like nobody drafts a Dolphin stack with Puka. Nobody drafts a Raven stack with Jamar Chase because the ADPs don't align, right? It's like doing those little things. It's like we all agree all these guys are like good picks at their prices. Move them a couple picks, and no one has that team. It's like that's there's 100,000 plus teams in the tournament. I want to have the versions that no one else has because it's the easiest way to win, right? Especially when everybody's drafting good teams. All right, back on the clock. Damn, man, you guys took all this is the most disgusting, just disgusting 0 RB team you've ever seen. Now I'm taking Ramondre. I actually wanted Javonte. Jace stole Javonte from us. BKGJ says, y'all ever pick up the magazines at stores for fantasy football? It's bad advice. I mean, the fact that it's still a thing. So here's what I will say. I'm a big college football fan. I will forever get Phil Steele's magazine. There's just something about it. And I'll just like flip through it and whatever. Like I can get all the information on the internet. I don't need the physical copy. There's something about the physical copy that I enjoy. Just like you see the bookshelf behind me. I don't use a Kindle. I don't read books on my phone or whatever like that. There's something about the physical copy, I think, and getting away from screens is a little bit nice in the year of our Lord 2025. But think about the process of putting together a magazine, designing it, getting it all written up. Ooh, Tajay is the first running back pick I actually like. Getting it all written up, and then it takes weeks or months to print it, ship it to the stores, and now 2 months have gone by, 3 months have gone by, and it's all outdated information. It's like so-and-so got hurt. Congrats. Your rankings have, Cam Akers tears his ACL or tears his Achilles in camp. Congratulations for your rankings in your magazine. It's like you have to be able to update these things in real time. You can't, it just functionally doesn't work as a magazine. But Phil Steele is definitely the GOAT. You have to forgive me for 2 seconds. I told you my wife is not here. My dogs are losing it. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Happy Dog Father's Day to me, dealing with these shitheads and you shitheads. Oh, dude, I've read, I read just like you guys. I read everything Matthew Berry used to write. I've read everything that Phil Steele has done. I read everything that all the OGs. What would people call Unk? Right? OG, Unk, whatever the phrasing is that people use nowadays. The young kids. How do you do, fellow kids? All those, dude, and like we wouldn't be here if it weren't for Matthew Berry, if it weren't for all of those guys. We need them. They created this industry. But but a magazine is just like it's like a cool thing to have. It's not helpful. Okay, hey, all right, we'll take it. Barry is definitely OG, and I am old, so Unk works. Big bro. Yeah, you're telling me. Oh God, Jaden Blue is the best running back available. I should probably like maybe look at another position at some point here soon. I'm gonna do Likely. Actually, I'm trying to get a big old bag of Isaiah Likely. Oh, geez, we're getting real niche now. Oh, dude, I used to buy. I mean, apparently the last couple of days is us just going straight nostalgia mode on Spike Week shows. I used to buy so much. Like, remember, just we were the magazine generation. Right, I was born in '88, so like if you're a '90s kid, if you were a '90s kid, like you're the magazine generation. Like magazine, Beckett, right? Magazines for the prices of how much your sports cards were worth. Magazine for what was the like sporting magazine? God damn it, this is gonna piss me off. Came every month. It's like basketball shoes, and they had like you could get like team orders of all the like basketball team apparel and all that kind of stuff. Damn it. Right, but obviously the basketball shoes, running shoes, like I said, you could get bulk like team order jersey. East Bay, thank you, East Bay. Right, East Bay was like, oh my God, the new East Bay is here. I can't wait. And I take it up to the room. You look at every single page that's in there or whatever. I remember putting together orders, on the little that you pull the thing out, put together, or mail it in with a check, and then they send you your stuff. It's like, isn't it crazy that was ever a goddamn thing? It doesn't make any fucking sense. I really don't have like any Garant. I do not have enough Isaac Garendo on drafters. 5%? What are we doing? That's funny. Yeah, Beckett's still a thing, I assume. Sports cards are still a thing. Just it's been 30 years. So it's a very different industry. Or Kamani Vidal, for sure. I support this 100%. Nudie Magazine Day. Exactly. It was that, but for kids who like basketball or whatever. I didn't know. It's still a thing. East Bay is still a thing. No shit. Good for them. Okay. The header of their website though is soccer. So if they, I know they've always had soccer and stuff. They had football cleats. That's where I think that's where I got my first pair of football cleats was on East Bay. Shoes. They got Jordans on here. Right, but it was like the Athletes magazine, right? Well, I hope so. If you order from them, they send it. Oh, they send the magazine. I got you. I straight up didn't know that they were still good for them for still being around, still being in business. That's pretty awesome. But like, I had no idea. Quid pro quo says East Bay still pretty big. Just thought about quarterback a little bit more. Oh, Ward is gone. I don't have Geno with like any of these guys though, so let's do Geno QB2. That's crazy. That's cool. That's still, you learn something new. Learn something new every day. But we used to get, so I was a big I still play video games, but I was a big video game guy. I don't play that much anymore. I'll play NCAA football. I'll play the show. I don't play much Madden anymore, especially once I went down the path of trying to rebuild the Saints and hated it. I'll play 2K, the show, and NCAA football. That's about it anymore. But used to play, I mean, a disgusting amount of video games. So you get the video game magazines, right? Get the video game magazines, get the sports magazines. Used to get Slam magazine, Beckett, right? It was like fucking 1,000 like everything was magazines. That's all we did was get magazines about whatever the topic was. I have long been a huge college basketball fan, right? So like the versions of Phil Steele, but for college basketball, we'd get, man, everything was a magazine. Yeah, see, I like Monungai more than everybody else seems to. Let's see here. I have 4 wide receivers, so it's probably about that time, but I would be remiss if I didn't get Will Shipley. Game Informer, yes. Game Informer, that's the one. I remember getting Game Informer every single month. I wonder how much of my very little money that I had as a young child I wasted on all this stupid shit. Wasn't East Bay free? Is East Bay still free? I do think, to be like totally serious about Kyle Monungai, I think he's better than everybody seems to think. It's like we did this completely, it was unintended. The Friday morning draft show was the wheel show, which turned into drafting players who are slow, right? I had to draft players who did not, and I failed spectacularly, which resulted in me eating a bunch of hot dogs on Friday on a show on Friday afternoon. But the thesis was, let's build a team with guys who all ran 4.5 or slower, right? So we couldn't draft anybody that ran 4.4, 4.3, whatever. And I think what we find is our obsession with speed at the running back position, really at all positions, is like so silly. Like CeeDee Lamb was not fast, right? Like people, oh yeah, CeeDee superstar, not that fast, right? Puka Nacua, not that fast. Like a lot of guys, not that fast. The best running backs, Christian McCaffrey, not that fast. Kyron Williams, not that fast. Josh Jacobs, slow as a motherfucker. Right? Like a lot of these guys are like not that fast. We're just obsessed with speed. And Monungai is not that fast. But guess what? Guess who else isn't? Most of the starting running backs in the NFL are not that fast. You need to be a good runner. You need to read blocks. You need to get what's blocked. You need to be able to, make guys miss. You need to be able to do, and I personally think that Monungai kind of can. I totally understand that I am in the minority with all that, but that's okay. I was in the minority with Pacheco. I remember rookie year Pacheco. This was the first year myself and Pat so I'm going to pat myself on the back, no pun intended. Corain and I were doing Legendary Sickos, and the Pacheco hype, right? Pacheco was a 7th round pick also, I think. And he's getting all this hype in Chiefs camp, right? And all he really had was like a fast 40. He was athletic, but his production was like whatever. And then when you zoom out and you look at the situation, I remember explaining why Isaiah Pacheco's production was so bad when you're at Rutgers University in the Big Ten. That's like playing at Vanderbilt. That's like playing at Northwestern. That's like playing, it's like playing at one of those schools. When you can put a team on your, they haven't had a quarterback that could complete a forward pass in decades at Rutgers. When you can put an offense on your back at Rutgers and be good, be efficient, be productive, post big games in the Big Ten, I don't think that that's nothing. I don't think that that's something to just totally scoff at. Oh yeah, for sure. No, I just don't think the 40. I could not possibly care less about the 40-yard dash for a running back. Explain to me when you've ever seen a guy take off, sprint, run straight without having to do anything, and just go to full speed and run a sprint. They're not playing track, they're playing football. I care about all the things that make you a good runner, not that make it really, really fun. Your speed rating on Madden is really good. Boy, this team is collapsing. Yeah, just what did so Saquon ran 4.4. Oh, God damn it. I'm telling you. I don't know if it's me. Derrick Henry. Someone guessed Derrick Henry's 40 time. Derrick Henry. 4.54 40. And in the open field, everybody, pretty close. 4.53, 4.54, 6.7. It feels like 6.7 now. Not fast in the 40, but that dude gets in the open field and you're cool. But he does all the other things, right? Can't draft Derrick Henry. He ran 4. He probably runs like 4.65 now. At what is he? 30, early 30s? Like he's a generational running back, any home run hitting running back, and he ran 4.54 at the 40. Yeah, I honestly would say that's like the only time last year where there was a few times where Saquon was just like the Red Sea parts and there's not a defender in sight. It literally was like Saquon was running a 40 for like a few plays last year. It was crazy. Been fading Henry because he can't keep getting away with this. He ran 4.5. Yeah, this is the crazy thing that the 40-yard dash is just it's a silly thing. And I'm saying this as someone who loves to talk about how fast I ran the 40 when I was once young and athletic and not old and creaky and washed. But like it's just like it doesn't really matter. It's not football. It's not at all like really anything about football. I definitely need another running back here. Probably not yet, though. Let's take a swing on my guy Royals. I'm going to turn this into 2882. This is why don't you go out and do something that would require you getting chased afterwards and let us know. Put the GoPro on, pop out there, do some illegal shit, get chased, and time yourself, and then come back and run a real 40 and see what the difference is. Yeah. Yeah, like Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones always seemed to move real fast for an old archaeologist. Because when your life is on the line. 100%. 100%. The crazy thing is Rodney says the only position where 40 really matters is corner. And even then, it's still so much about like you can be a lockdown corner and not have a great 40 because it's all about as they say in Happy Gilmore, it's all in the hips. Corner is nothing but hips and reaction. You obviously can't be like you want to once you open up the hips, you want to be able to run, right? Run straight fast. But it's all about quick twitch at corner. I'm just gonna take what just happened? Who took Dante Thornton? Where did Scooby? Round 17? That was my whole plan. Oh shit. Tesla, sure. God damn it. I'm not paying that close of attention. We're talking about East Bay and Derrick Henry being slow. So I apologize. But what the fuck? Round 17, Dante Thornton. Come on. Quid pro quo. Ran the 100 in high school against what will become the NFL's fastest man. He lapped me in my 4.69 40. You're Kyron Williams and Josh Jacobs speed though. They were in 4.7. Yeah, go watch Cam Scadaboo in college. Dude's a monster. But there ain't no long speed. But the quickness is actually quite good for him. Running back is just yeah. I won't forget all the guys I missed on Friday. That's for sure. No, it is pretty interesting because I ran a pretty fast 40 back in the day, and game speed, I don't think I was as fast as like some other guys. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Game Informer. I need to invoice Game Informer for all these years of keeping me from and East Bay and Bill Steele. That's funny. Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and New York Giants stacked on my favorite best ball DK team. Good luck. That's the Morgan Freeman Dark Knight. Good luck. GIF. Okay, I do need another running back. See, I haven't been paying enough attention here. I have 8% Kendre, and I have long thought he was a fine pick, but now I'm a little bit annoyed because of the signing. So let's do Emmanuel Wilson. I have 1% Emmanuel Wilson, but let's just pivot a little bit. I think somebody asked about a DraftKings draft. So we can pop on over and do a DraftKings draft to wrap here if anybody wants to do that. That's hilarious. Let's pop in the DraftKings Millie. 7 more. Cam Akers. Martin asks, who did the Saints sign? They signed Cam Akers. Let's see. Whoever wins the Dallas backfield has to be a league winner. I hate to say I need more Miles Sanders. I don't think there's ever really like a total firm rule of, there has to be that guy from a backfield. But I do think, like even last year, Rico Dowdle was a very good pick to have. Was Rico Dowdle a league winner? Even when Dak was playing, I'm not sure I would call Rico Dowdle a league winner. I would call him a very good pick that you definitely wanted on teams. So I'm not going to go. Oh God, I'm on the clock in so many slows. Oh, it's not that bad. I wouldn't go so far as to say like it's a guaranteed league winner, but a guaranteed. There's like at least one or two of these guys we want on our teams. I would agree. I would agree with that. And I'm taking the bets. Well, this is just not gonna happen. Somebody's gonna get more than 10 touches a game for sure. Even if they even if they are pass heavy, someone's gonna catch multiple passes, and then all you need is 7 or 8 carries. Like somebody's gonna get the rock. Love or hate Luther Burden. This guy should not be going in the 130s. I agree. What do you mean? What? Miles Sanders was awesome. What year was it? 3 years ago? Before he signed with the Panthers. On the Eagles, Miles Sanders was good. Yeah. He had 259 carries for 1,269 yards and 11 touchdowns, caught 20 balls for 78 yards, but 1,300 yards and 11 touchdowns. Miles Sanders, he was good. Yeah, I just don't think an NFL offense ever this doesn't happen. They're going to run the ball 14 times in 70 plays. First draft of the season. Shout out, Billy. Thank you for joining. What teams can you stack other than those very well plus week 17 depending on it? I was just referencing you stacked all 3 of them, right? On your favorite team. I stack all the shit offenses too, for sure. But I don't think my favorite team would be those 3 together. I would be surprised, but I think this is more fair. I do this. Jim says best way to draft the Dallas backfield is take both Javonte and Miles. I do that. Oh, first fast draft. So you're cheating. 22% CD, 16% Puka, 11% Gibbs. I took Gibbs in the first draft, and I took CD. So let's do Puka. What is your obsession with Jaden Blue? I don't get it. He goes Burr. He has a cool name. He runs fast and he has a cool name. That's the Jaden Blue bull case. Can't ever get on the field at Texas, but goddamn, he's going to get on the field in the NFL. Respect. So I wrote a whole article. I won't rehash the Javonte take. I would recommend reading the article that is at the top of spikeweek.com, where I break down exactly why you should take Javonte, because the idea that he could never be good for fantasy, I think is wrong. Rico Dowdle, this is no shit. Rico Dowdle hadn't had a productive season as a football player since his junior year of high school last year. He is older than Javonte Williams and has more recently been more terrible than Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. Rico Dowdle was useless for like forever. 4 NFL seasons, 5 college seasons, and like did nothing and was good. But this is not fair. You can't say this. If Javonte and Miles are so bad, how can he have less competition? That doesn't make any sense. He had the same competition. If they're mid, then Javonte is terrible, right? They're not good. You don't want to draft them. Yes, I absolutely see a case in which Javonte takes over the whole backfield. Yes. Javonte Williams is 25 years old. He's a second-round pick. In the real-life NFL draft and in fantasy drafts not that long ago. Let's get a little AJB action. Not much AJB and Puka for me. I mean, a good amount is not really true. He played, yes. And the whole bull 5 stars thing is like, that's the point. If you can't get on the field in college just because your teammates are decent, like that's a problem. Why can't we just admit it's a problem? If he could hit, Jaden Blue could hit. Absolutely. No one is denying that. That's why he goes at like pick 130. The point is, he fucking sucked in college. If you can't get on the field, it's one thing to like get on the field, have some issues, be brought down by your offense, right? This is the whole Kyle Monangai case. Jaden Blue, CJ Baxter, right? The 5-star that you were talking about, tore his ACL in preseason camp last year. You want to know what Texas did with Jaden Blue? They said, nah, no, thank you. We got another freshman. We actually have 2 freshmen that we might be interested in playing over you, Jaden Blue. You still continue to be a gadget player, right? It's just like, it's okay to say, I want to take shots on Jaden Blue because he's a mystery box and he's athletic. Cool. But this whole, like, we can't deny the facts of what he was as a college player. He was a rotational, gadgety running back in college. They never, ever, ever decided he was worth playing for significant stretches. Was Texas wrong? Maybe. But the Cowboys didn't think Texas was so wrong. They waited a long time to draft Jaden Blue. Yeah, he might be dust. If Javonte wasn't dust, we would not get him in the 120s. I'm willing to bet against everybody is so fucking certain about the Cowboys backfield, and I'm just willing to bet against it is all. Let's see here. I don't have Devontae. I don't have Devontae with AJ Brown. Wow, interesting. Let's do Devontae. I saw some social media angst about Devontae Adams recently. That was funny. That's true. I agree with that. That's a bull case. That's simultaneously a bull. This will put your brain in a pretzel. Blue was definitely better than than Rico Dowdle in college. Yeah, that was hilarious. I try to stay away from social media more now. I'm getting older. It's easy to be grumpy. And man, they all suck. God, it's just the worst of the worst people. And that, but so I use it generally to just like business purposes, right? To post from Spike Week stuff. And Rob was doing his Rob was doing his stream this morning, so I always try to post about it so people see. And on on the Twitter feed was just a roasting section about Davante Adams, which was very funny. And like I'm really not a grumpy person. I'm an exceptionally happy and positive person, actually. I'm sure that some people would be shocked to hear that, because I'm also like argumentative and sarcastic and a shit talker, but I'm always very happy and very positive. But nothing can put you in a bad mood quite like just the fucking cesspool that is 2025 social media. I just mean people's takes. I mean, I would argue Jaden Blue how can I say this? Every year, people say draft capital matters. But then when they have a take about Javonte Williams and about Miles Sanders, they're fucking sure that those guys are dust, right? It is. Ooh, this looks like a good team to get DJ Moore on. They're so certain that Javonte is dust and Miles Sanders is useless that we're taking a 5th round pick, a 5th round rookie who never even took over a backfield in college, who is essentially a gadget back, return man, use him in the passing game, right? All that kind of stuff. We're taking him in the like 120s. The kind of backs that go after, even setting aside the Cowboys stuff, like I'm pretty sure the market putting Jaden Blue up there is quite sure that those other guys are useless. And so yeah, it's right. Javonte is just Rico Dowdle all over again, and Jaden Blue is like fancy Deuce Vaughn. Yeah, I'm drafting Miles Sanders. I'm drafting Miles Sanders too. I think this is just the big thing for me, is that, and I could absolutely be wrong about this, and you guys know, dude, I'll wave the white flag. I'll hold every L. Trey Lance, Darrington Evans, like whatever, the pick up fading Saquon, like I'll hold every L. In my opinion, there is no scenario in which Jaden Blue can like consolidate a backfield to himself. People view him as a receiving back, but he can't pass protect. So what happens on long down and distance? Javonte comes in, because you know who pass protects? Javonte fucking Williams. So even if Jaden Blue like emerges in some role, he's, oh baby, man, this Hampton fall is just glorious. Being able to get a bunch more Omarion Hampton is awesome. There's these factors. Like I think Jaden Blue is like if I buy Madden this year, I might draft Jaden Blue and play him as my running back on it. Like that, he seems fun. He seems like a fun player to have on your football team. That doesn't mean I want to draft him at pick 130 in best ball when I don't really see, right, Javon, like somebody mentioned in the chat, McLaughlin in Denver last year. It was like Jaleel was better, like at efficiency wise and all that kind of stuff as a receiver, as a runner and everything than Javonte. And Javonte still played because Javonte does the shit that we fantasy bros ignore and football coaches care about. He goes to the right place. He keeps his quarterback upright. He catches checkdowns. He does all of that stuff. And it's like, now he's 25. He gets talked about like he's 32 years old, right? Raheem Mostert is 33 or something like that. People are speaking about Raheem Mostert and Javonte Williams like it's opposite. I know I'm exaggerating. Raheem Mostert's a last round pick, but people are like, Raheem Mostert, he's going to be the lightning to Ashton Genty's thunder. It's like Raheem Mostert is 30-3 and was equally a corpse last year, like a total corpse. Is did the injury end Javonte's career? It's absolutely possible. 100%. Am I willing to take that risk because he has the archetype that if he's not dust, can consolidate that backfield? He can take the full fucking boat if he's okay. Because he pass protects, because he catches the ball, because he's big, he can get the goal line work, right? If he's not dust, we're going to look back like, wait a second, Javonte's back? Oh, fuck. Why do we do this? But I don't, even the best scenario for Jaden Blue, I don't think it exists for him to consolidate the backfield, and I'll wave the white flag if that's yeah, I don't care. Chuba was the worst running back before. Saquon has been the worst running back before. Like all of those metrics, again, check out the article. There's like all of those metrics that people use to judge who's the worst running backs are not sticky. Judging running backs based on our advanced metrics that we use needs to have some stickiness to it, because Jonathan Taylor has ranked terrible in those metrics before. Saquon has ranked terrible. Alvin Kamara is terrible every single fucking season in all of those metrics. Javonte was not the worst, by the way, running back in most of those metrics. He was very, very bad. No denying that. But we exaggerate on those kinds of things. Oh, God, Calvin Ridley. I really don't want to draft Calvin Ridley. But you know what? Let's have a little fun. We're talking about all the shit picks that are available here. Then so what is he going to do? And why is he better than so he doesn't have to consolidate? What do you mean? If you want to be a fantasy smash, you need to consolidate the backfield in some form or fashion. You're going to play 30% of the snaps and be a smash at pick 130 compared to other running backs. That doesn't make any sense. There's a bunch of backs who can do the same shit. Why is he better? What is Tyjae Spears going to do? Consolidate the fucking backfield. What do you mean? He literally just did that last year. Tyjae. He has standalone value and he can consolidate the backfield. He played like 98% of snaps when Tony Pollard didn't play. And they're saying that he's going to play. He has standalone value. He's going to play when Tony Pollard is healthy. Jaden Blue. I love a good Jaden Blue conversation. Gets me fired up every time. It's the best. And then we're all just having a good time. I got no problem. I truly don't even have a problem with somebody that's drafting Jaden Blue. I have my take. I'll take my Javonte and my Miles, and you guys can have your Jaden Blue, and that's the fun. That's the fun of the whole game. Oh my God, 100%. Every time I see 100%, 100% of my Puka AJ Brown teams have DeAndre Swift. So let's not fucking do that. God damn, this is becoming a Judkins stream. Yucky. Okay, this is psychotic behavior. Seeking out. This is what Twitter people do. This is what like 5% of YouTube commenters do. Not you guys, but like if I ever do a video, right? There's a bunch of shout out to you guys, dude. The comments are awesome. It makes doing this worth it. Talking to you guys here, right? Even when we disagree about fucking Javonte Williams and Jaden Blue, it makes it all worth it. It rocks. But there's a certain percentage, a very vocal minority of people that hate watch and seek out misery. They're like, their goal is to find content that they hate. And then they go and watch it hate watching it to wait until the person that they hate says something that they disagree with. It's psychotic behavior. It's truly serial killer shit. And they'll go like we got dudes that come and comment on every single show that Pat and I do. There's some dude who comments about how stupid I am. And it's like, what kind of like, do you realize the self-ownage you're doing commenting every week on this 4-hour podcast that you hate? What are you doing? Like, what? Like, what is wrong with you? I know I'm not. It's just I know you don't do that. But it just segued into something that I see all the time from like what is the goddamn obsession with hate watching things? People just love it. Situation archetype team need over player takes in the 100s. I mean, sort of. I think it's an understandable thing, except you gave a lot of player takes, right? Javonte and Miles are mid. Got to take Jaden Blue. Those are player takes. The reason you're landing on them is because of player takes. So I think there's a push pull, right? Let's do a little B-Rob. Get some more gross running backs on some teams. I'm gonna do it now. I know I'll at least get like 15 views. I have been thinking about I started today. Let's take a step back. The reason why we're doing this fun little stream is because I was going to record a video. I promised that I would put a video out, and I sat down and I, when you do some recording, you do a little bit of scripting and stuff like that, and started to prep, and I was like, let's just draft some teams instead. This seems boring. This seems very boring. What I was doing. But I actually want to do. I think I'm going to do some like small videos, like short few minute videos of breaking down like some of those. So like Tyree, right? The Cowboys backfield, Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins, those kinds of things seem really polarizing. In the best ball landscape. Man, wow! I have not drafted Caleb Williams. That's pretty crazy. Let's do Caleb. First DK Millie Caleb Williams team. Shout out to me. Some people definitely just want to watch the world burn. See, so here's my only pushback on this is that I don't think I think that's a player take. Right? If you say I don't have player takes because I don't watch college, you're just assuming the rookie has more upside because that's a player take. Javonte Williams has more upside than Jaden Blue. That's my whole it's literally my whole case. Is that people think he doesn't have the upside and only the rookie has the upside. I believe that we're just not it's because of the player take. Everyone has the same play. It's over for Javonte. He could never be good again. No, look at the success rate, right? It's over for Javonte. 3 years ago, he was a second round pick in best ball drafts at 23 years old or 22 years old on the Denver Broncos. Melvin Gordon was on the Broncos, and we drafted Javonte Williams in the second round because he was so good. We were so excited about him. We were excited about the Broncos, and then he blew out his knee. He's been bad since he blew out his knee. Does that mean he could never get healthy again? I don't think that it does. I don't believe that to be true. Rashad White has had upside, right? Najee Harris has had upside in fantasy. It's not just about our player talent assessment as to what upside is in best ball tournaments. If Jaden Blue doesn't have to consolidate the backfield to be a good pick at his price, why can Javonte not have upside at the same price, essentially? Let's see. If I would like to get the Chargers, Who falls? Herbert or there's just actually let's take fucking Javonte. Fuck that. Let's take Javonte. We're gonna sit here and ramble about Javonte. It's definitely I would not classify it as recency bias. I would classify it as only caring about the most recent performance we've seen from a player, which is not. It sounds silly because it's not recency bias, but it is specifically focusing on only one portion of the data. I didn't even. Yeah, I did. We the Javonte thing got even must be Michigan had to pop in and be like, okay, come on. I saw. I didn't. You know, I had the draft hacker highlights the stuff on the screen, right? So you see Herbert, you see Trey Harris, and all that kind of stuff on here highlighting in orange. So I haven't drafted a Cowboy or whatever. So Javonte wasn't popping off the screen. But once I saw him, it was like, okay, come on. But I think the Javonte conversation is just fun because it really honestly Javonte versus Jaden Blue versus whatever is ooh. There's just no way I'm gonna get Trey Harris on the team. Let's do Loveland instead. Build out the Bears thing and we'll figure out quarterback. Respect. I'm pretty much fading Saquon also, if it helps. Yeah, Miles went nuts in week 18, right? Chuba sat out and Miles went crazy. Because Atlanta needed a win to get in, right? Atlanta needed a win to make the playoffs. It's here's a so the chat is talking some offensive line conversation, which is fair. But like, does offensive line only apply to Javonte? Why are we drafting Jaden Blue if the offensive line stinks? Why are we drafting CeeDee and Dak and Pickens and Ferg if the offensive line is going to be so catastrophic for the running backs? It's going to be equally. Did we not watch the Bears last year? Did we not watch the Patriots last year? If the offensive line is going to be bad, don't draft the Cowboys. Let's see. Ooh, what's this? 50%. 50% Tajay with Loveland. That's interesting. I'm gonna take Tootin though. I think I need a little upside. Got these rookies. This is a running back room. Rookie, B-Rob, Javonte, rookie. This is how it's done. This is how you blend 0 RB rooms. Yeah, the Falcons defense stinks. Ain't no arguing that. They suck. Yeah, Hampton's been. I'm very much buying the Hampton dip. A much more fun conversation, I think, than why is Omarion Hampton? Please. J.K. Dobbins left and went to Denver. Nick Chubb signed with the Texans. There's like no one else until cut down days and such. But they're not the best bet to be a team that. I know I think I'm supposed to take one of these tight ends, but I really need to get more J.K. Dobbins on DraftKings. He's a good fit on this team. I don't have Harvey. Let's do Dobbins. Yeah, like, what are we doing? Why is Hampton falling? I really can't make heads or tails of it because Hampton is falling. Harvey is also falling. I can at least understand that. I don't really think Harvey should fall much, but I get it. But like, what has happened that Omarion Hampton should fall? If anything, he should rise. All the potential risk is gone. Dobbins is gone. Yeah, this is fair. Week 1 projection coming in, and the week 1 projection hasn't fucking changed. You guys are hitting every goddamn point, like literally every single one of them. I think we need to slam Hampton. Like getting him as RB1 with like, dude, you can think about. So I drafted Hampton in the 5th round, right? 53rd overall. Obviously, I took 4 elite wide receivers, but you could think about what you can do with 4 picks before you get to Omarion Hampton. Bowers or McBride or Kittle, Lamar or Allen or Daniels, Hurts, multiple elite wide receivers, and get more running backs. Like, I don't get it. Yeah, like the Chargers basically had Dobbins under this, right? So for anyone who doesn't know, the Chargers used a very weird, which does not get used very frequently, unrestricted free agent tag on Dobbins, which meant if I'm going to screw this up. He was essentially tagged for a 1 year, $3-point-something million for the Chargers. And if he signed for, with someone else before camp, it would essentially have to be more than that, right? And so he got $5 million from Denver, but it wouldn't make any sense for him financially to sign less than $3 million with a different team. He would be free to sign before camp, or excuse me, after training camp started. He would be free to sign with anyone, but he would be giving up millions of dollars to do it. So, oh fuck, I don't have a quarterback too. So, okay, maybe I'm gonna do tank and figure out this QB2 thing. But I'm not loving what's going on here on this team. Yeah, this is fair. Mixon also falling. I think that whole right, Harvey is falling, Mixon is falling, but those guys are falling because they got a guy, right? A new veteran got inserted into their backfield, which changed their outlook. Nothing changed for Omarion Hampton, and yet we're getting this nice big discount. It's amazing. Two secs. This is definitely the last draft we're doing. The dogs are not happy about being left to the side for you guys. Perfect timing, right back on the clock. Is there a quarterback? Did Jones go to? Okay, so Darnold and Jones are still available. I mean, I'm not taking them over Will Shipley. I don't give a shit. Not happening. Quick recap. Puka, AJ Brown, Devontae Adams, DJ Moore, Omarion Hampton, Calvin Ridley, LOL. I kind of wanted Cam Ward on this team, but not going to work out. Quinshawn Judkins, Brian Robinson, Caleb Williams, Javonte Williams, Colston Loveland, Bashal Tootin, J.K. Dobbins, Tank Bigsby, and Will Shipley. I like this team, honestly. But I got all my running backs now. And we're going to build it into a 2 quarterback, 2 tight end, 8 wide receiver room. Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's a good question. I don't know. I would hope not. We shouldn't be moving running backs around because of game stacks. It's a fair question, though. Hold on, let me get the board back going. This is like a fair question to ask about every team. BKGJ says maybe the Chargers will just suck this year. But like, how? Other than Justin Herbert gets hurt. Like, they were good last year and the offense has only gotten more talented. I just don't really see a path to Palmer and who? Mike Williams? I mean, added Hampton. So Hampton Najee is better than Dobbins. Dobbins was good last year, but Hampton Najee is better than Dobbins Edwards. Added Conklin and Gadsden and Trey Harris to the offense. Lost Palmer and Mike Williams. Okay, come on. Simi Fehoko is just not going to be in consideration for me for I guess we're doing Darnold on this team, huh? I actually think I like Darnold better because of the backstack Seattle options. Right. So it was Darnold or Daniel Jones. And there's some Seattle guys we can tack on here at the end that make a lot of sense. Yeah, I agree. Peppertoni says QJ 3rd year breakout hopium, but it does seem like the coaches are still in on him. Yeah, the coaches are definitely still in on QJ. Lambert Smith, yeah. I mean, they drafted KLS. That's a great point. I have drafted non-zero. Hold on. I think it was on Drafters, but maybe it was on here. No, yeah, it was. So I have a non-zero amount of Keandre Lambert Smith, aka KLS. Yeah, a fucking terrible one. But he was a 1st-round pick. So was Kadarius Toney. I still can't believe they drafted Quentin Johnson in the 1st round. He is probably Brendan Rice. Yeah. KLS went in the 5th. Is that right? Yeah. KLS went in the 5th, and Brendan Rice went in the 7th. Yeah. It's a pretty big difference. Josh Dotson. QJ is a Josh Dotson ass pick for sure. Jalen Knoll, hello. Sorry, got to take the Ami. I did back myself into I think this might actually be 7. I probably need to make this 3 tight ends. So we're going to make this a 7 wide receiver team. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Oh God, Buster Davis. Oh boy. Favorite sleeper this year, late rounds. Okay. This is fun. Let me just look at this board really quickly. Okay. Does Will so we start with Will. Every conversation starts with Will Shipley. Will Shipley number 1. Sticking at running back, Jarquez Hunter. Those two at running back. Shipley, Jarquez Hunter at running back. Wide receivers maybe a little bit more fruitful. Diami, who I just drafted here, Diami Brown, Pat Bryant, Jalen Royals, Torrey Horton, Devon Vele, I'm with it. I'm with Martin Dante Thornton. I agree. And then the Titans guys, Alec Manor and Chamiri DK. That's what I'll that'll be my list there. Tight end is a little bit more big time. Love. Like doesn't begin to describe Jordan Mason for me. It would be more of a love. Okay, this is 18. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go get Torrey Horton to stack with Darnold, and then we're gonna close out with this team. This team rocks. This team rocks. Felix, you always take it too far. Stop it with Andrew Armstrong. He was fine in college. He's not a fucking fantasy football sleeper. I do like me some Ricky White, but I was hoping I didn't even have super big aspirations for Ricky White. I was just like, go in the 5th. Like I'm sitting during the 5th round, just like, please, God, please go in the 5th. And he went in the 7th, and you're just like, fuck. Like it's probably over. I do think he's going to make the team because of the special team stuff. But man, it's probably next year. Next year we'll see if we're talking about Ricky White. All right, 2 tight ends to close it. And yes, whoever asked, we can do some saucing. We can do some saucing. So with Loveland, I'm going to do Higbee to start. I understand someone is going to say, aren't you worried about Terrence Ferguson? Yes, of course. But I feel pretty confident Higbee's going to be the Rams starting tight end, at least to start the year. And I could use that on a team that only has Colson Loveland so far. Savion is such a unique player. I was not on him as a prospect because he's hasn't shown us any ability to play wide receiver. But being on the Packers feels like it's opened up new possibilities for him to be useful. So he's in the ranks. I have him in the ranks. No, absolutely not. Totally reasonable to be scarred by Ty Chandler, but no. He's not Ty Chandler. I mean, Simi is I have no problem with Simi Beimfohr, but he's 27 years old and has, let's see how many catches. He has 10 catches. He's 27 years old and he has 10 career catches on 22 targets. So there's not like much light to see. You know what I mean? One more tight end. I could double dip the Ram stuff. Though I think the appropriate answer is jumping out on the screen in over here. Made it through 3 drafts, 1 show, 3 drafts, no snipes, and Jatavian Sanders is who I wanted, and now he gets. Is Fanning gone? Of course he is. Motherfuck. Theo, fine. God damn it. Who took who? Oh, this motherfucker has 4 quarterbacks and 3. Herbert, Penix, Bryce, and Cam Ward. God knows you need all of them. Otten. Okay, well, maybe here's a fucking idea. Maybe don't take 4 quarterbacks in a row. So you have Cade Otton, Dalton Schultz, and Jatavian Sanders as your. This is so true. I'm not real. Like as you guys know, it's whatever. I don't really care. But I did want to take. He fit the team, right? We're gonna build the truly shittiest Seahawks Panthers Week 17 stack that you can build. Sam Darnold, Torrey Horton, and Jatavian Sanders was the goal. Like I was very excited to put that together and like flex. Right? It sounds so good when you like talk it through. Like we built this game stack of Panthers. Seahawks, and you know that the Panthers defense is going to be very bad, so we can like sell this team, and didn't go so well. Yeah, exactly. My team, super quickly, if anybody else is in here and wants a rundown, please go ahead. We pulled up Puka a little smidgy to the 105. Normally I take CD, but I have a lot of CD Lamb. And went Puka, AJ Brown, Devontae Adams, DJ Moore, obviously 0 RB bro start. But Omarion Hampton in the 5th round is a great reason to draft 0 running back teams because that is a gift that keeps on giving. Took Calvin Ridley, not in love, but I'm trying to get a little more Cam Ward. So I'm gonna take a dash of Calvin Ridley, so all my Cam Ward isn't with like Io Manor and Okonkwo and DK and stuff. Quinshon Judkins, Brian Robinson, Caleb Williams. This is my first Caleb Williams Millie Maker share. Javonte, because if we're going to sit here and argue about Javonte for a half hour, we should take him. Colson Loveland, Tootin, Dobbins, Hank Bigsby, Will Shipley. This is a legit good running back room for a 0 RB-ish running back room. Sam Darnold, De'Ami Brown, Torrey Horton to go with Sam Darnold, Tyler Higbee because I need some goddamn tight end points to start the season, and then Theo Johnson because I got sniped on Jatavian Sanders. So yes, of course. Thank you guys for joining me on this Sunday. My wife is on her way home from her father's, so we'll probably get out of here. And if any of you fuckers spoil the F1 race for me, you're gonna get booted, and we won't be friends anymore. Enjoy your Sunday. Seriously though, happy Father's Day to everybody. All you fathers, we appreciate you. I appreciate you guys hanging out on this day. There's a lot of things that you could be doing besides hanging out with me and drafting some stupid best ball teams and talking about Jaden Blue and Javonte Williams. So it's much appreciated. If you're still here, if you could really please hit the like button and subscribe if you are not subscribed on the way out. Super helpful. And myself and Rob did a show earlier today. Go watch that as well. And tomorrow night, Monday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern, myself and Rob are going to be doing some new shows. So starting tomorrow, be on the lookout for that. But enjoy Father's Day. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the nice weather. Enjoy the race. Enjoy whatever it is you're into. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Woo! Those were some spicy takes. Want to stay up to date with all of the other spicy takes we're going to have over here at Spike Week? Why don't you press that subscribe button below? You turn notifications on, we draft a team, boom, you know about it. We have another spicy take, boom, you know about it. You can be there. You can draft with us. You want to stay up to date? That's how you do it. All right, we'll catch you later next time here at Spike Week.